name is Jonathan Young, and I play guitar.
John Roger, I play the bass guitar, like Chris Squire, but not as good as Chris Squire. Yes.
Now, Jonathan, you do a little more than just play guitar, though. What else? Because I've seen you work some keys, and you also get a little more something else on the guitar there.
Yeah, Oh, you meant that I also play a cello bow on the guitar, and I do play some keyboards. They call that whole section over there NASA, so the other guys call it NASA, so they say it's too complicated for any mere mortal to operate.
But you have to be Asian. It's true.
Very complicated.
Sorry the rest of the guys couldn't be here, but we're glad you guys are here.
Yeah, I apologize for that.
I enjoyed your set last night on the Encore 2 at midnight, and I'm kind of sad that's the only time you're playing a Cornerstone. So if you didn't see them yet, you can't now.
No, we are in enjoyment mode now, so we are done with our set.
Leisure.
We are completely.
But you are hanging out in the merch tent, right?
We are hanging out in the merch tent, so you can come and hang out and talk with us and chat it up.
You can come hang out and buy stuff and hang out with us.
Well, I heard a story I hadn't heard before. Like you were talking about 3 years ago in all the mud. Can one of you relate that story? A Cornerstone experience.
I was there.
Oh, it was. I told the guys when on the backside of the exhibition tent.
2004.
You have to take a right to come out here in this road. I go take a right because they were all gonna go get something to eat. Take a right. I don't know why, because I repeated it many times. They took a left and went down into the grass, into the knoll. And when you have a van and a trailer with a lot of weight, and it rains here, the muds, you know what's gonna happen. So they get stuck on the backside and they come running up to me. Hey, you need to come quickly. We're stuck in the mud. We don't know what to do. I go, do you guys take a right? No, we took a left, but that's not the point. We need help. So ran out there, and there's our friend Jamie was actually operating the driver position. He was just like,
he has like hair like Perseus, and he was shirtless, flowing Greco-Roman curls.
I felt really bad because all these Cornerstoners were just coming back fresh from their morning showers just to get doused with chunks of mud and turf. And so we ended up just having to empty the trailer, pull it up by hand through the mud.
Really difficult because we keep a live grizzly bear in our trailer. He's heavy. He was pissed. I mean, he was angry.
Totally. I wanted to ask about your new album is finally out. Feed the Lays. You want to tell us a little bit about making the album?
Toil.
Sweat.
Blood, sweat, and tears. Toil and tears.
No, actually making the album was really, it was long in coming, and we started it in, I think, November of 2006 in Detroit with a producer named Tim Paddlin. And then I thought that was you humming. And then from there we went back to Seattle, and we recorded some of it there and also some of it in California in 2007, and we finished the album. And then, but we also needed some help distributing it since we needed to find a new label. So it was released this last May 13th on Koch Records, called With Arrows with Boys, and it's a little bit departure from their first album. If you're familiar with You Can't Trust the Ladder, this album is a little more cinematic. We like to think of it as like 12 individual mini movies. And when you throw it in your CD, hopefully you will be introduced to these mini movies that are on With Arrows with Boys.
Yeah, we say Ladder's kind of linear rock, and the new album's more sexy. It's got an Old Testament sexiness to it. It's got more swagger, more soul,
and a Song of Solomon's kind of way
to it. Sorry, Jack. But yeah, we think we were really tired of art and bored with. I mean, everyone's doing stuff and motion and this and that, and that's fine. But that wasn't where we were at, because we were burned out from 18 straight months on the road, and we just decided to do something that was fun and things that compel us and that are very gripping. So like we went to Gettysburg because we love battlefields, and took a ghost tour and walked around Little Round Top and Devil's Den and all that. We love M. Night Shyamalan films. So some of the mystery of God and nature and things like that instead of being like, that's a cool song, it's like, whoa, what is that song? So You're Wearing the Holiest of Thieves shirt, which is one of our favorite songs, which is kind of telling considering the record in that it's about passing from life into death, but you're the only one that's taken life from a field up into heaven and God. And what does that look like? Nobody really knows, even though we picture a huge billowing beard come scoop you up and place carpenters for you while God takes you up into the heavens. But we put it in like the 1890s with a weird dirigible and all these machinery coming to grab you by the booty. So, fun. Because we think God's pretty fun. So,
I wanted to ask, what kind of effort have you gotten from Koch on either marketing the album or have they opened some doors for you?
Koch Records has been amazing. We love them. They've really been a huge help in not only the marketing side, but also in the distribution side. I mean, you can pretty much find the album anywhere.
Target.
You know, everyone strives to be in Target, don't we?
We're stoked.
So you can get it there, Walmart, wherever you need to find it, in that side of things. And then on the other side of things is that they just were really supportive in the music and in what we have created. I mean, sometimes it can be really stifling if a label wants tons of input on your creativity, and they weren't like that. So they were really supportive in what we wanted to accomplish and what we want to do. So
I wanted to ask, you guys have a hot video right now that's done a lot of movement on MTV2. That's the MTV channel that still shows videos. So I just wanted to ask, did you guys get to set the creative score for that as to how the video would go, or was there some other whose vision was that?
It was for a clean shot, and we needed to do a video for MTV, which was great, and we got like 5 synopsises from different directors. This is what I want to do, and 4 were like, yeah, it's kind of cool. It was like, well, there's going to be a girl in Hot Topic wear with her mascara running, with an emo haircut, looking very sad with angel wings, and she's getting a tattoo. And we're like, yeah. Do you have any like owls smoking a pipe? So Josh Forbes was the one guy that sent something that was ridiculous that we really loved, which was this beast being hunted in the woods by 4 hunters, and these creatures help the hunters and take them into the wigwam, and they have meat and discuss the beast over fire. And then we go and hunt the beast, but instead of killing it, it goes into the beast's life. And so there's a little montage where it shows the beast at prom, shows him on his wedding day and having a baby, and he marries a human. He's got a huge buffalo head guy. And so the kid has a little buffalo head and a human body, and he's doing all these mime things. So we're like, that's the guy we want. And then from there, we just met up. We shot it up in the Hollywood Hills. We got there, and they had all these weapons out for us and all this cool stuff. And the guy was cool. We like that guy. So yeah, in a way, well, we got to choose which one.
Okay.
He was so good, we just kept our mouths shut.
But our second video, we actually did the creative. It was a performance piece, but we didn't really just want to be a normal performance piece, so we just it's for You Waste Time Like a Grandfather Clock, and that's actually going to be released. That's actually has been released on MTV2 right now.
Last Monday.
So
Clean Shots on Rock Band, which I've never played, but I really want to.
Yeah, you know what? If you put on Expert on Clean Shot, I'll tell you what. I play the guitar in that song, and it's way easier than that. There's no way it's that difficult to play that song.
How did you guys end up on the Rock Band game?
Yeah, I think MTV hooked it up.
I think they published the game. So since we won the Do Circuit Breakout thing,
yeah,
they're doing lots for us.
I think they kind of hooked it up.
Thank you, God.
Let's see. And okay, well, I also wanted to ask on your faith side of how do you really try and combine faith into your music and share that with the audience?
Well, hopefully we don't have to try.
Yeah.
I mean, I really hope that our faith is a part of our music, no matter what. A lot of people have been asking us just because, I don't know, our video, we had some love from MTV, which I never thought would ever happen. Just because of that, I mean, they're like, well, how are you balancing it? I don't understand what there is to balance, because I don't remember having to give up my membership as a full-fledged Christian to have our video on MTV or something like that. So for me, I don't think we don't have to try to combine our faith and our music. It's an extension of our faith. It's an extension of who we are, and that's what we are. I mean, whether we're playing in a club or playing in a Cornerstone festival or playing wherever, I don't think we change. We don't change our set. We don't change who we are. I mean, we just are.
Although we go to only Christian supermarkets, and we see movies at Christian theaters, and I have a Christian doctor, and the Christian NFL League kicks buttocks.
They're really nice in the Christian NFL League.
Christian bread's good too. It's got flax in it. Christian flax.
You guys know what we're talking about, right?
You guys know all this. You go to
All right.
Cornerstone.
I wanted to ask, over the last year, have your listening taste changed? What have you been listening to? Someone was telling me they hear a lot of Radiohead, I think, in your music now or something. So,
Well, In Rainbows is an absolutely beautiful, stunning, perfect album, just about.
Yeah.
I've been listening to a lot of, I don't know, Ryan Adams. I really, 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 really want to go see Ryan Adams' Cardinals open up for Oasis coming up here.
It's all over the board for all of us.
The Nationals Boxer album, sick. Sick. I don't know, just, I guess whatever really opens up. I don't know, whatever catches my fancy.
All of us kind of connect on like Kent and the Cardigans, Portishead, Bjork, Radiohead, Bread, the Guitar Man.
Bread.
do you guys actually share the stereo in the van, or you all have your own iPods?
Whoever's
plugged
driving
in?
has the power.
Okay.
So we all have been influenced by each other's music.
Yeah.
I think this guy did not like hip hop at all, but after sitting
like it
next
now.
to me, he loves it now.
Jurassic 5, Kanye.
You got Kanye, you got the Roots.
You got Roots.
So like that, and then with Steven, he brought in bluegrass
Alison
into the
Krauss.
band, Alison Krauss, and
Union
a lot
Station.
of the country, and Schofield brings all
70s.
the Schofield brings the obscure stuff.
Nobody likes Yes, though.
We all love Joanna Newsom now.
You
because
do,
of
thank
Stokes.
you.
Yeah, that's one band that we still have.
Carpenters. Bread.
I just don't exactly see you guys rocking out in the van to bluegrass music.
It's nuts. We get a pit going in the middle.
I think it's important. I think it's important to have a really wide range of musical loves, not just your own, I guess, genre.
When you were making this last album, did you try and bring anybody in, musician-wise, to try and fill something in where you knew you wanted a certain instrument sound, maybe you guys couldn't make, or knew someone who could do it better that you brought in?
Not really. Just kind of albums we were into and movies.
Thelonious Monk.
Yeah, awesome. And that was our outro music last night, so I hope you guys were like loving it.
I think he is. He's been waving his hand back there. I don't know if he needed something.
Oh yeah, you guys were talking about influences and what's in the CD player. I was just curious. Any Barry Manilow in there?
Barry. It's
I only know
Barry
the
gets,
hits.
Barry gets trumped by Neil, by Mr. Diamond. So sorry, Barry. No Copacabana in our van. Only Coming to America.
We used to know Mandy, but I haven't seen her in a while.
I think the last time I listened to Barry Manilow is when I had an 8-track player. That was a
You're
long
not that
time.
old, are you?
It's before my time.
Yeah.
I used to listen to Barry Manilow on cuneiform tablets. That consumer. It was sick.
I have no response.
I need, John. I meant to ask you about what's with the hair this year.
Oh, I wanted something different, so
You joined
I
the
like
SS.
I like fashion, and this is a pretty couture. I saw a lot of dudes on the runway with just these, and it's so much easier. I just cut my Frodo hair.
His Frodo.
Didn't David Bowie have a hairstyle like that at one time?
Yeah,
David Bowie, man.
dude, I feel cool. It's David Bowie. Has anyone seen the Flight of the Conchords episode with David Bowie?
The freaky dream.
Is it your freaky dream, man? Is this your freaky dream? That's our favorite episode. We love it.
Go see Ember Days. They can tell you all about it. They're from New Zealand.
They're real. We're fakers.
That's true.
I thought you were really well decked out in the white. I think you had some long boots on or something.
Shucks. Yeah, some riding boots.
Right.
They're not comfortable, but I love them.
He came in from a comb on a steed. That's why.
Faithful steed with horns on fire. It just killed 100 Vikings too. They were chasing a small child and the devil.
You better stop. You better stop him because he can keep going.
I think you will. You're right. Remember, this is being podcasted.
Too much Mastodon.
I don't know if you want to reveal all that. I did want to ask to keep in touch with Seattle, with your church back there. Are there certain things you do? Podcast. I mean, I don't know if you listen to any podcast stuff from home, or to keep in touch with the people back there, the fellowship you have back at the church, home church there.
I love, nice thing about it is that, the church I attend to is called University Presbyterian Church. They actually do their sermons online, and whenever we try to get into a hotel, so I try to download them while I'm on the road. And I forget it's Sunday even sometimes. When you're on the road, you just go through and all of a sudden, what? How come no one's here today? Oh, it's because it's Monday. Why would someone come out to a show? It's like one of those times sometimes, but yeah, you lose track of days when you're out on the road.
It's tough. The iPod becomes the preacher.
Yeah, you listen to
Whatever
sermons
you're
on the
reading.
road and spend your own quiet time in the hotel rooms or whatever, or in the back of the van.
Have you guys been reading anything lately that's really touched you, that's kind of growing your faith a little bit?
Yeah, I was, you have your books everywhere. Well, I have all of I'm really tired of the Bible right now. Sorry, everybody. But I felt God was like, put that down for a second and read something else, because I've been reading a lot of the New Testament, and of course, we've all read the Bible tons, and there's nothing better. And I was like, well, maybe I should listen to this. So I looked through all of our devotionals. I was like, read. I'd like to read Anne Lamott again. And then you want to read the old favorites. But then I saw the Ragamuffin Gospel, Brendan Manning. I was like, wow, and that's one of my wife's books. I was like, I still haven't read that. And I was like, okay, I'll give it a shot. It's wonderful. I love it. It's been beating me bloody every day as I read it. It's grace. You don't understand yet. And God's like, you don't understand how much I love you. You don't understand. You can't. And I think he says we're all paupers at the gates of the kingdom, relying completely 100% on God's mercy, and it just combats my brain a million times. So that's a great book. I'm sure many of you have read it. I think it was published in 1990.
And I just finished reading, I like Dostoevsky, so I just finished reading The Idiot. One of his earlier books, but it's very poignant with a Christ-like figure in it who's considered the idiot. So it was a really good book. Anything but Dostoevsky is really good, but that's my take.
Well, it's almost time to wrap it up. I was just wondering if anybody else had a question or something. Grab a mic from the back there from Mr. Dan Tech.
I see it's filling up finally because everyone knows that Jones Ed is up next. That's the more important.
Actually, they're late. You were on time.
Sweet.
It's not their fault. I blame their manager.
Well, it's their hordes of fans that keeping them back. For us, we just had to easily walk up.
John kept me from coming in here, though. He wanted my autograph.
Okay, I got a couple questions, but the first one is about your new album. I saw you guys at a tiny little dive in Dayton, Ohio, in front of Joy Electric. I don't know if you remember that. It's the Night Owl or something like that.
Yeah, this is one
It's
that
like,
is.
Is it at the Owl Bar?
there were more players. There's like 4 opening acts.
The Night Owl.
There were like 4 opening acts. There was more musicians than there was audience there. It's such a small place. But Joy Electric's latest release at the time was Ministry of Archers.
Mhm.
And then I went online and I'm looking at your Royal Order of the Myriad and looking at the new album going, Ministry of Archers with Poised with Arrows. Any connection there?
Yeah, he. After that tour, that's where we decided to define everything from then on out what the Myriad was going to be like. No, that was a long time ago.
I don't even remember that. We just think weapons are really cool. Especially when there's blood and dirt on them.
I think not same for the ladies,
human
but
blood.
for every guy. Picking up a broadsword when you're a kid and bows and
Crossbow.
arrows. And,
I want to say another t-shirt I have. I'm wearing one Myriad t-shirt.
Yeah,
I've
it's a
old
classic.
before. But I have there's an archer one or something with the constellation kind of guy or whatever.
Oh
so-
yeah.
Blue
There's
Archer.
that one. There's a statue in Kansas City that inspired that one.
Mhm.
Okay.
Another question?
Yeah, one more question. I talked to one of you, I don't remember which one, but during that tour, you guys were living on a pittance. I mean, basically peanut butter and jelly allowance for the tour, sending the rest back home. Hopefully that has improved for you guys.
Not much, but
Peanut butter and jelly and butter.
it's really up to your individual preference how you want to save your food stipend, I guess. Some people want to spend equal amounts every day. Some people want to do pittance and then have a huge meal or have a steak dinner at the end of the week. I don't know. For us, it was, some of us just want to be able to do other stuff with it. I still eat peanut butter and jelly on the road. Actually, peanut butter and honey because jelly gets bad in the band. Honey doesn't. So
It's pretty easy on $5 a day
You're still on $5 a day?
for food.
sure.
Okay.
The truth, rock and roll glory.
The truth revealed.
It's the best workout.
Hey guys.
Hi.
Okay, so you were talking about books that you like to read, and I wondered if you guys did any writing yourself.
Oh, that is a loaded
Look at you.
question. Can I say that? Because then you don't look. So he doesn't look like he's bragging, but our illustrious bass player over here, John Roger, has just got his first book published, and it's actually titled after one of our songs called Throwing Punches, called Push My Life into a Duffel Bag. It's pretty intense if you want to get. You pick it up anywhere at Amazon.com or BarnesandNobles.com or.
Only online because nobody knows who I am. But it's at shopmtv.com. That was weird. So right next to Tila Tequila.
Beats sandwich between Tia and Real World.
An author. Wow. Was it just
It's a fictional memoir about a friend's life. He grew up through a lot of crap and finding hope and reality through all that. He had an abusive stepfather and crazy foster kids. He never really had a home. His mom was wacky, and so it was about 5 years in the writing. And
A great question.
Really happy.
Next question.
Hey guys.
Hi, cool shirt.
Thanks. I was just
Everyone does.
wondering, where'd you get the name The Myriad?
I love that word. I was a crazy lit major dude, and 19th century that word got a lot of play and it doesn't much anymore. And we just love it in that it's a huge, massive force, 10,000 times 10,000 or an innumerable number. We see thousands of ships, thousands of angels, warriors, an electronic avalanche of mice tumbling over you. It's whatever you want. So, potatoes.
Have you guys had an opportunity to see The Happening yet? The movie.
I'm sorry.
Oh, have you had an opportunity to see The Happening yet?
Jeremy did.
Did you like it?
I haven't yet.
We were chained at the merch table. I apologize. But
Did you see it? Did you like it?
I haven't yet. I
Okay.
want to, but I just.
He loved it.
yeah,
I'm saving that one to see with the wife when I get home.
yeah, there's some movies that you can see with the boys, and then there's some movies you need to make sure you don't see until you see it with your wife.
Prince Caspian.
Some of you guys will find that out. Or your girlfriend. Do you know what I mean?
Breaking?
You don't want to cross that.
Hey, I was just wondering what your writing process was like, music and lyrically.
We just, in the studio right before we just write it out, first draft.
No, we
Painful.
it's a combination, I don't know, of all of us just getting together, and sometimes it just starts with an idea and it joins with another idea, and something else goes on. Like that beat right there you hear might spawn another idea, and so on and so on. It just kind of goes on, and we mostly write in the studio, and then we'll take it out and then try to like mold it live to see what else we can do to it, and then go back in the studio.
It's many drafts. We actually dropped 5 songs from the new album. They're not on there.
Yes, sir.
How frequently do creative differences arise?
Well, when you don't have a main songwriter and everyone's contributing, I think we've learned to kind of grow together and figure out how to do it. So not as many as we used to, but you have to get to those creative differences, and you really have to shed your pride and shed your ego at the door, and to be able to say, something you worked on for a while and then it gets shot down. No one really enjoys it, but there's a reason why that is.
Yeah.
So the music that finally comes out, we call it going through the Myriad filter. So once it goes through each member, and it comes out what it is. So
Been together now for 7 years, so you figure out who's good at what, and then you feel like, oh, I'm not good at this. It's like John will clean the dishes every day, but I'll do the
laundry.
bathroom once a week.
I'm really good at laundry too.
Good at laundry. I shampoo the dog.
John, you made the Chris Squire reference earlier, so I gotta ask, what's your favorite Chris Squire yes riff?
Siberian Katru, the whole song, and then Heart of the Sunrise. Just, I want to die to that.
No Starship Trooper.
I love that one too, but the early stuff, the production, beautiful.
The Yes Songs version though.
You prog dudes. You guys need to.
You know what? I met someone today who saw them in '72, and I was freaking out.
Is him.
I saw him in '78.
Which one?
He was on the Tormato tour.
Love it, love it, love it. And the bass line for Roundabout, sick. His tone is ridiculous. Ridiculous.
Jonathan, who do you aspire to
John
be more
Madden.
like?
Johnny Mathis?
No, John Madden.
Who's your favorite guitar players?
Some of my favorite guitar players are, of course, like Johnny Greenwood, The Edge,
Jack Johnson. He's really good though at what he does.
No, this is like what, your 6th time to play Cornerstone now? Is that what's up?
This is our 6th year.
Nailed it.
Our first 2 years we came here, we played on the New Band Showcase. So it's been a long road.
Well, I love the fact that you guys made it back again. I hope you can make it back next year. And on behalf of the president, I
We
want to
have
say...
one more, I think.
Oh, is there one more? One more. Oh, that's ready to close. Go
Just
ahead.
kind of a random question. Do you like the band Muse?
Yeah,
Just wondering.
he's a good bass player.
Chris Wolfenstein and Matt Bellamy is he's amazing in vocally, piano-wise, guitar-wise. They're just a great trio. They're a great trio of lads.
They're like the Rush of the O's.
True, that is true.
Well, guys, I want to, on behalf of the Preston, I want to say thanks for coming out. Everybody at the Myriad.
Thank you guys for coming out.
everybody.
John and Jonathan from the Myriad. If you missed their show last night at midnight, you missed the best show of the